Yes, guys, Suki for BTSTV, the first episode of Beyond With. And you know what? I've really got to start at the top when it comes to my guests. I had to pick no other than Mr. Olympia 2024, Samson Dauda. Samson, brother, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, man. Yo, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate this.
Buddy, obviously, the other day, it was the Mrs. birthday.
Yes, yeah, and because we
And
came, it was just literally a day after we came back from Arizona, so I had to do something special, like celebrate. She bought me a PlayStation 5 for my one, so I was like, yeah, I gotta try to do something in return. So yeah, it was nice.
mate, she's no longer just the coach of Mr. Olympia or Olympia winning coach, but also every time I see your story, she's in the garden.
Oh yeah, man, big time. This whole summer, I didn't have we talk about the space, and she's into it. She's constantly doing something in the garden. Even today, she's been out all day in the garden, got sunburned from it. And I'm like, well, just chill out and just chill in the house and sit. And no, no, she always want to be busy. And I think just when we're doing the garden, it's just so peaceful, isn't it? Just it takes your mind off everything and just kind of makes you just focus on this one thing and just working on this thing. So it's kind of lovely.
Mate, no, it's good. Love it, love it. Look, mate, there's a few things I want to just jump on, but I tell you
Yeah.
what, I want to start on a positive note. Mate,
Yes.
you're no longer the only UK Open guy at the Olympia. Check out Saf.
I
He's at the
know,
Olympia
dude. I
now.
was I was so happy for him. Because I remember like when we met Seth when he came down from my gym open and I told him, bro, you can definitely make the Olympia this year. Just keep going, keep picking up shows, and just keep competing. Look, I know everybody has this idea that they want to go out, do one big show, win it all, and then get on. I was like, look, it doesn't work that way for everybody. Some people is that steady chipping away at it. That's the way I did it. Is that steady chipping away, time show after show after show, and just getting closer each time, and it will pay off if you just stay committed to it. So he took that approach on this year, and man, dude, I'm so happy it paid off for him because when he was at that, we were expecting to like, I was like, okay, you're going to go to this show. You've done going against Regan a week before, and I was like, yeah, it's tough, but I still think that you have a good chance to beat him. So when they were doing the show in Toronto, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, this. And I messaged him after preaching. I was like, bro, this is the one. This is the one. I think you got it. This is the one, and I'm just so happy for him that he got it.
Mate, I don't know if you saw the post I did the other day, but at the moment, the UK has 12 Olympians in 2025. Last
Wow.
year, it was eight.
Holy shit.
And
Wow.
we still got people like now Darwin's got to
Yeah.
qualify, Ria
Yeah.
Gale. I
Man.
mean, we
It's a big
could
year,
potentially get to 20.
man. It's a big year. UK coming up. Thinking about how small we are and how much like we got to work to get into that. But look at it. Look at the scene right now. It's absolutely amazing. Like honestly, you're looking at the pinnacle of UK bodybuilding in a long time, and it's awesome, man. Everybody's really fighting for it this time, and everybody knows it's possible now. And look how many we have in the Olympia, man. This is crazy.
Mate, yeah, yeah. I'm actually hoping to go out there because, yeah, look, it's
Oh,
phenomenal. I mean, last year we had two Olympia champions from the UK.
yeah.
Canada had two, USA had two. It's a draw at the top.
That's
It's a
crazy.
draw.
It's absolutely crazy to think, right? I remember when we did the victory ceremony. The next day, I was with Ryan Terry, and we were speaking about it, and we were so chuffed about it. We were like, man, this is freaking unreal. And Ryan only lives like 45 minutes from me as well, so we were like, dude, this is definitely a celebration, man. This is absolutely awesome.
I think at the moment we're in a really good hot streak in the UK that we just got to be enjoying it and hopefully more people be inspired that you know what this can be done. And Sasa's story is
Yeah,
absolutely perfect. Epitomize that.
exactly. And this is honestly, you see things like that, and you kind of think like, how can that not inspire you? How can that not fire you up to want to do this? It's like you always kind of believe that okay, we saw because we have to travel and do everything else, and we're just such a small place. You talked about thinking that before that we were sort of disadvantaged. We don't get that chance to sort of go in and do live and win and go to the Olympia and the big shows. I remember my time coming up. We only had one person represent the whole of UK, so it was very hard to sort of kind of imagine that okay, you could actually make it. But now when things are changing, you're having loads of us go in there. I mean, anybody watching from UK that has training want to do this, there's no more of a bigger inspiring time that you can have.
I tell you what, one other thing as well, mate, is also on the weekend, it wasn't just Sasa who qualified, but also Courage Apara from
Yes.
Nigeria.
Oh, bro. Honestly, I didn't know he was even going to do his 212 debut. And then when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, Courage has put on shitloads of matches. He's doing 212. And I'm like, he's in a fucking two-man call out. And I'm like, damn, okay, this is freaking awesome. And then the next morning I woke up and I saw he won. I was like, man, you know what? Freaking awesome job. Awesome work, man. Congratulations. That is That is freaking awesome, man.
That's it, mate. I mean, he's now. I did a post of the week where it was all the countries that's being represented at the
Yeah,
Olympia so far. And Nigeria did have representation. I know he's down as USA, so obviously I think it's down to his address. But
yeah,
of course, people recognize it on Nigerian descent. So no, it's
yeah,
awesome to see that. But I don't know if you saw that as well. But it's mad that yes, we know USA is top, but
yeah.
Brazil are closing
Oh,
a gap in the number of
holy
people.
dude. Honestly, if you know how crazy bodybuilding is in Brazil, if you know how much they love this sport, I'm not even surprised. I'm like, soon enough, they're gonna catch up. They're gonna beat you. Because going over there, like bodybuilding is one of their mainstream sport. Next to football, they got bodybuilding. So when you're there, you feel it. You literally go around and you're like, holy shit, these people actually really love this. And they're so committed and they're so fully into it. And it's like honestly, the way they cheer for each guy, their own fans, they cheer for each guy. It's like a football team, like two football teams going at it. And I'm like, holy shit, these people, they're like proper committed. So honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised to see them actually coming that much. And I'm gonna see you're gonna see more and more good guys come out of there as well.
I mean, that kind of touches my point quite nicely because you obviously been to Brazil recently. One of the
Yeah,
reasons as well is because, of course, the gym,
yeah,
the manufacturer who's based out there. But one thing I want to bring up, and I did a post earlier because it was also mentioned on Serious Silliness Bodybuilding podcast,
yeah,
and that was down. It was about your travel schedule, and
yeah,
I just wanted to quickly ask you this because you became Mr. Olympia 2024. And
yeah.
with that come the responsibility for
Of
12 months you have by title. I remember when I spoke to Dan Solomon, he was telling me
yeah,
as well about the
yeah.
responsibility that falls on Mr. Olympia. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned having now been Mr. Olympia and traveling the world, taking that title to all these new territories, a lot of territories you may have never been before?
Man, it's one thing that I have seen and witnessed that I never knew it was this heavy or this real. Is no matter where in the world you go, everybody knows Mr. Olympia. Everybody follows. It's insane. Like from airports to freaking shopping centers, and you're always gonna feel something like that. Dude, I was in Switzerland and we were out with my wife and I was climbing the mountain. We were going to this waterfall and we were trying to climb to the top of this waterfall. I'm thinking, this is just a waterfall in the Alps in Switzerland. We go to the top and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm completely taken away just in holiday. Some guy was like, hey, son, you Mr. Olympia, can I have a photo? And I'm like, what the? Where? You was like, I'm on top of a freaking mountain. But it is really that big, man. And everywhere you go, people absolutely love this. And they so support and they so enjoy the idea of this. And they love the idea of, you know what, this is the only business. And so me seeing it for the first time, I actually get to experience it by traveling around. You actually realize how big bodybuilding is. Honestly, the bodybuilding we see on social media is this small compared to what it's like in person when you go to this place. My jaw dropped. I mean, I went to China. China don't have social media. They don't have Instagram. They don't have Facebook. They don't have our YouTube. But they all know who's Mr. Olympia. They all know bodybuilding. They all know about. And you're like, how are you guys even doing? But it's big over there. So it transcends the idea of social media. Honestly, being going around and seeing it firsthand and seeing the way people are, Mexico, all these places, seeing the way people are about it. I'm like, holy shit. It makes you realize, okay, we have this idea still that bodybuilding is a very small community. I think our mindset needs to really change because now the people that watch us is so diverse and it's so all over the place that I think we need to sort of clear that idea of okay, bodybuilding is now this little niche thing. It's not anymore. It's truly international.
I remember, I believe, I hope I'm correct, but you were when you were in China, you went to the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember seeing the stories of like pictures with other people there.
yeah.
China, these kids around you as well who want pictures because, of course, once again, 300 plus pounds, 6
Yeah.
foot, whatever. You're hard to miss, and this is going to be something that is going to strike people, even if
Yeah,
they don't know what the
yeah.
Mr. Olympia title is.
And that's what that's the understanding of what it means to be Mr. Olympia when you travel around these places. Like, it's one thing seeing a picture on Instagram, it's one thing seeing a video, but see somebody stand in front of you with that stature and that build and looking like that. Even you have no idea what bodybuilding, you have no idea. You look at a man like that and go, holy shit, who are you? What do you do? What was this? And this is where you represent the sport. This is where you, yeah, I'm Samson, I'm a bodybuilder. This is what I do. And you get to show them what this is. And you're the first reference point of them actually seeing and getting a glimpse of this world. So you understand, you have to understand that that is the responsibility of it. And not just Mr. Olympia, but all top athletes. This is our responsibility of this, understanding that the manner in which we carry ourselves is the manner in which we portray the world that we love. So you have to really think and act properly in the way you do things.
That was a you touched on a key point there. You said that that could be someone's first reference point to
Yeah,
go into bodybuilding.
yeah.
Which leads me to actually a question I want to ask you. What was your first reference point that led you to be inspired to go into bodybuilding?
I mean, for me, honestly, because I was playing rugby at the time, and I wanted to put on pounds because of rugby, and I want to put on weight because of rugby. And I really, I knew the only person I knew that was a bodybuilder was one of my friends, Chris Jones. He owned the gym in
Yeah.
South End. He was the only person I knew. But then I just knew he was a bodybuilder. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't look. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I watch Arnold. I watch." I was one of them guys. I was all of it was just a foreign word and so it come to me. So when I met my missus at the gym, she was the first one that I saw pushed on to that point of, you know what, you got a great physique. Like, have you ever thought about competing? And I'm like, competing in what? You know, and started competing in bodybuilding. And even then, it took her months to convince me to even actually even look into it. You know, because it was just like, no, 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 I don't do that, none of that stuff. You know, I'm a man's man, I'm a rugby player. I don't do none of this standing around my pants. No, no, no. You know, so it took her months for her to convince me to say, look, like, just try to give it a go. And then where I was training in the gym, my physique was changing. And then rugby players, when we finish a game, we go to the changing rooms. And they were looking at me and said, bro, man, you getting jacked. Like, you planning to compete. You're going to do a bodybuilding show. And I'm like, what, you guys too? And that was the first time where I actually then thought, okay, you know what? I want to look into this. I want to look into what this is.
I mean, look, I mean, Chris Jones is a nabber goat, and I think we all
Oh, yeah.
everyone knows him when it comes to old school bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I want to ask you because we talk about the other countries,
Yeah.
about Brazil. It's bodybuilding. It's like box office over there. We
Yeah.
see it with Hardy over in Iran. We saw when
Yep.
Big Ramy won
Need it.
the Mr
Yep.
Olympia title. What was it? What was it like for you coming back to the UK? Where is the UK at in regards to the acceptance of a Mr. Olympia champion is representing our country?
One thing, especially when I won it, man, honestly, I've never felt so much support coming off that stage because the amount of messages and people that came up to me and said that shit and saying, look, man, you're doing this for us. You know, 24 years since the last Mr. Olympia, 24 years since anything like this happened in the UK. And then you happen to bring that title back. There's a level of not just joy but respect that comes with that, and the level of this, man, yo, dude, you did it for us, man. Thank you, congratulations. And honestly, the support you get from the UK because of that, it's something that to be said. You know, I know even like with the UK, we don't like to express ourselves. We don't express ourselves openly as most of this country because Brazil, they'll go out. I mean, they'll go out and do a parade. People do. We're more reserved than that. But even then, in that sense of reservedness, we still have this ability where we do acknowledge like, yo, yeah, this is our people. You did this for us, but we appreciate it. So I really do feel that every time I'm here, and that's why, like, my mama, they always say, "Man, are you gonna ever move to the US?" And I'm like, "Nah, nah."
I mean, with that as well, then, was that one of the reasons why you also wanted to have your own show in the UK this year, the Samson Dauda Grand Prix, which is August, is that right?
Yes, August is August 16th. So yeah, man, it's something I want to do, man. Obviously, we know bodybuilding are high is in the UK, and I'm like, look, I just moved to a new town, to a new place, man. And I was like, look, let me get some guys over, and people as well that don't know the show. I just opened my own gym, literally outside Lincoln. So the registration will be happening in my gym. Guys that are coming over, they can come over to train in my gym for the day and everything else like that. And the show is happening the following day, and the show is literally in the middle of Lincoln. So I want to just try my best to sort of, do what I can for the UK scene, man, and UK bodybuilding scene, and just kind of show appreciation for everything they've done for me.
I know Fuad's in town, is that right? You want to
Yeah,
start?
so Fuad, the hostile boys, are going to be coming into town. I have to force him. I say, no, bro, you have to come to the UK. You have to come see the scene here, and you got to make a statement. So he's going to be coming down, and that's going to make for a big thing. And when we're down here, we do some crazy stuff. So we're going to try to get around and have some fun as well while we're here.
I mean, is a shirt gonna stay on that day,
Oh
or can we
man,
expect a guest post?
this one is very. I mean, it's my show, so you know what? Hell, whatever I feel on that day, that's the rule. So we never know. We never know.
Definitely. Well, look, we can't talk about that about a little bit of the future and the past now. I want to just jump onto 2025. There are some topics I want to talk to you about, but before I get to those ones, I just want to just go back to the Arnolds, and
Yeah,
I always see and I always tell people as well that there's always lessons to learn, whatever result you get, win or lose.
yeah.
What was the biggest lesson you took away from coming second at the Arnolds? The reason why I mentioned that is because you had some people saying, "Oh, why is Mr. Olympia doing the Arnolds?" And then you got the other lot saying, "Wait there, you've always wanted your champion to compete on a regular basis. You can't have it both ways."
Oh,
And this is bodybuilding. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose some. So I'm interested to understand maybe what was the biggest lesson you took away that's gonna put you in the best possible place to defend your title come Olympia.
I mean, first and foremost, obviously, one thing people don't understand, like I like to compete a lot. And the more I compete, the more I'm improving, the more I'm improving my condition and everything else like that. Because every single time we do a show, we learn something about me, about my body. And we all can see my body changes extremely fast. If I give it a year and I do a show, the same idea and protocol I did to peak for that show would not work again. You have to constantly learn something new about it. So my idea is I've always said I was going to do the Arnold. I've always said, look, I'm going to compete more than just once a year. I'm never going to be that guy that just competes once, disappears, and nobody sees him. I'm always going to do a lot more than that because I don't get a chance to do this for long, man. I'm not going to compete forever. So whilst I'm here and I've got the body and I got the physique to be able to do it, I'm going to have fun and do it as many as I can. And yes, that is going to come with losses. It's not the end of the world. You do lose things, but then you learn from it. And this one is one of the things we learned. Like, one of the things we learned from this one is timing, just that timing of knowing, okay, I'm a big guy. For you to get dry enough for a show, the timing doesn't work the same every single time. And you might miss that peak by a couple of hours, you might miss it by a day, but this is it. You have to sort of figure that shit on the last minute of, okay, your body responded this way last time. Okay, let's do the same thing again. Well, it might just be that that is not as drastic. You need to go. You might be able to pull back a bit, but it's all about trying to get timings for just right for that pre-judging and final. So that's why we came in tight, a lot tighter for the finals for that show because the time was just a little bit off. And that's all it is. And you learn from that, and you learn how your body responds to that and go, okay, right. Well, if that's what we did wrong, okay, this one is very easy fix.
And one person who's been learning a lot over the past couple of years, and he's made his return this year, has been Nick Walker, and he's kind of
Yes.
really thrown his name in the race
Yeah.
to challenge yourself and the top guys, whether it's top three or to win Olympia. What have you made of Nick Walker's return? Because of course that's been
Dude, it's,
viral content, hasn't it?
for me, everybody called it wrong. For me, I say he never left. So it's I don't know, sound right. Okay, yeah, he didn't do two Olympia before unfortunate reasons, which we don't know. But he competed at the show. He never left. He never stopped training. He never went away and disappeared. And you know what? I've always been a big fan support of Nick the whole time. And I was disappointed that he missed the last two Olympias. So for me, I've seen we and Nick have had a relationship and a friendship as we're going on for years now since I came on the scene and did my first Arnold. So for me, this is like, dude, why did everyone even think that he was never a threat? Every single person that's able to do this sport to that level is a threat. The minute you start thinking that someone isn't, is the minute that you start losing. So you cannot have that mindset. So when he's coming and saying he's coming for the throne, I'm like, hell, that's exactly what I expect him to say. How can I not look at him and go, damn, bro, you better watch your back because they're coming. This is what it also means to be Mr. Olympia. Guess what? The target's in your back. Get ready to fight. So you don't drop the ball, you get ready to fight.
No, definitely, mate. And I think you're right that he never left. I think it's just obviously, it was a couple of years away from Olympia title, for competing at Olympia, and everyone's just he
For the
has that
fact,
fan base. Look, I'm a
yeah,
fan, and God, his fan base must have grew
yeah,
10 times fold at Pittsburgh for what he brought to the stage,
yeah,
and it's fantastic he's back because now that Olympia is absolutely fire
yeah,
come Las Vegas in October. But
yeah,
one thing Nick's has gone through, and this is something I want to discuss with you because it's been a hot topic over the past week or so, and probably longer, is Nick has had his critics from certain sections of the Bible community.
yeah,
And I guess what I really want to understand for yourself is,
yeah.
do you think there is a disconnection between maybe some of the older era bodybuilders who have inspired this generation to get on
Yeah.
stage, to live that dream,
Well,
compared to the current crop of bodybuilders?
I mean, one thing I can say is, man, I lived this life and I've seen it. I looked up to everybody coming to the sport because, like I said, I was never a big thing into the sport. I didn't know anything about it. When I found out about it, I went back and did my history and watched every single current bodybuilder, all the older guys from the 90s and beforehand. I watched every Olympia from the start. Everyone I could find a video of, I watched all of it. And there was a level of respect and like understanding of holy shit, look what these guys did. Look what they were able to do. Look at that, how amazing it is. And I remember the first time I met each and every one of these guys, I was like a kid twiddling on the knees and shaking and go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Look, it's Flex Wheeler. Oh my God, look, it's Phil Heath. Look, you meet all these guys, Chris Cormier, all of them, Milos, all of them. I remember having my first conversation with him. And I was just like, do you realize who the fuck you're talking to? Like, holy shit. So you have that admiration and everything because they've inspired us to come this far into what we do. So now it's you can imagine when you've pushed yourself because of these people who inspired you your whole life to get to this point. And then you're here, you're thinking, shit, this is wow, I'm so blessed. I've made it this far. Thank you guys for inspiring me. But in return, you then have them saying other things about us. You can imagine how that must feel. The people you look off to that you're thinking, they'll be like, man, well done. You just need to work a bit harder, but well done. Or you give your credit. We completely welcome the idea that you could think us say what we need to get better at. But keep working. But imagine it's the other way around where they just kind of like, yeah, these guys are lazy. They're not really ready to push themselves. It's like, come
It
on, man.
I one person I just want to bring up Bob Chicarello for a moment, and I just want to say, unbelievable MC.
Oh,
Is everyone dreams of him calling your name out as a
oh,
Mr.
yeah,
Olympia winner,
oh,
which
yeah,
you've gone through, Derek's gone through, High's gone
yeah.
through. That's what everyone aspires to. So absolute flawless MC. I can't praise him enough. But obviously he's come to fire a few times, and when he's overstepped his mark, saying Nick Walker, well, I'll call him our seventh. His recent one on Regan Grimes saying that he shouldn't do the Olympia because he'll probably go 12th to 15th. Are people overstepping the mark here when these are Regan? He's earned his ticket to Olympia. Nick has earned his ticket to Olympia. Should people be talking down about these kind of placing predictions this early?
I mean, everybody like people like to jump in and start making predictions early. That's one thing that just goes with the sport now. So we've learned to accept it. That's what it is. And that is absolutely fine. But I feel personally, right, if you're part of the industry and part of us working with us to bring on a great show and to make the fans just cheer and love this sport, you can't sit there and then say some things to the package that you are there to represent. It doesn't look professional, man. Nick is a freaking fierce competitor. We've just seen him do that. But you know, all these guys they have their opinion and they have to give it. But I'm just like, it's one thing telling us personally, but put it out there. It doesn't reflect good on the sport that we're trying to make better. It just doesn't. Like we do understand we all have our opinions, we all have our favorites. That comes without a doubt. But when you're in a certain position, you should really kind of like, okay, I know how this would sound if I was the guy that's about to walk on stage and I'm announcing on stage when I know that he's been saying these things about me. It can sound very unfair and very disheartening to the athlete about to walk out. So for me personally, I just think like, come on now, please, just there's no need for it.
I mean, this has been going on for quite a while, really. When we look at maybe some of the old generation bodybuilders, and I say old generation in the greatest way because, like I said, they've inspired this generation to get into bodybuilding, and they'll continue to do that because we still watch their content.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, what what can change? Because every week there seems to be something new. Like the most recent one was I mean, you've seen the post. It's the Harley Davidson. Um,
The front relax. I only saw that today, actually. I saw that today, actually. Oh, man. What can I say? This is every sport evolves. Every sport evolves. I mean, yes, we're gonna have things we like about the guys in the past. Hell, I fucking look at it and go, holy shit, I love the way they did certain poses and what the way they do then. I freaking going, wow, man, that's nice. I know that. I wish I could do it now. But if you do that in the sport, imagine the same lineup you all said. Imagine this. We all stand there ready to go. And I stand there like this. You're gonna look at me and go, what's wrong with him? Why is he not opening up? Why is he looking like he's just standing there, not ready to go? And we all know this is exactly what would happen if you stood all of us on stage and one of us just kind of just stood there just partly relaxed while everybody is ready to go. You look at it and you can say, what's going on? We all know this. So it's one thing if the judges hasn't come out and said, okay, we want to change this post to this. Why are we all talking about it like it's an issue?
Yeah, it's I don't know why it's being directed as well towards the competitors because really this is a decision the IFA make. They make the rules, and then
Yep,
we play by the rules because that is what you guys are judged on.
yep,
So let's not keep bringing it back to competitors
exactly.
and and making it sound like it's something to do with the current crop of competitors. It's their choice. In the end, you guys step on stage and play by the rules.
Yep.
But no, I do agree. And look, that video from earlier, from once again, I'll say Serious and Silliness bodybuilding podcast, guys, definitely do check it out. It was a very passionate plea in regards to like, let's just draw it in. Let's be respectful. And he did mention a good point as well that you guys are in an era where social media, I
Oh man.
mean, it can be brutal at times. And I don't know if you saw the video from Derek Lunsford on his channel, his YouTube channel recently. He
No,
was
no.
he was speaking about he suffered the loss of his grandma, but also
Oh
talked
yeah.
about the fact that after the Pittsburgh show, he was getting a lot of hate from Nick Walker fans. And this era is where fans get easy access
Oh yeah.
to you guys
Yeah.
via DMs, comments. So then to obviously hear maybe something of extreme negativity from those on the higher side of bodybuilding, I think that's where we're
Yeah,
losing it.
it's kind of like, because everybody kind of like they have this theme now where they're like, oh, you guys are so soft, you get so soft, you're so soft. And I always laugh and going, please, this is you coming the same person I would say that would be like, if I said, bro, what are you talking about? You take offense and you start flashing back in comments. And I'm like, okay, you think that's a bad. Imagine switching round and be one of us. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how hard you think, okay, I want to do this show, I think I want to do this one, there's always going to be another side of it that's going to attack you for it. Imagine getting that, or no matter what you do, that's all you get. That's the job. Okay, fair enough. Well, we accept it. That's what we are. That's the era we are with social media. But then the guys that we look up to, we think at least they've been through it, so they would know how this feels. Even though they don't get it with social media as much as we do, but at least they have an idea to say, look, hey, young blood, I know like this is a bit like they're coming at you at this. Just chill. It's all right. Don't worry about it. We all go through it. It's all right. And everybody will be like, oh, thanks. At least, you understand. But they are the ones attacking us too. So we're kind of like, oh, thanks. This is so you can sort of imagine being in our position. We can feel extremely lonely being in the position we are. Because all we're doing is we just like everybody else. All we want to do was do a sport we love and try to be successful at it. We went to the gym just like everybody else. We did everything we do just like everybody else. And we're just lucky enough to be the ones that either genetic gifted or work hard enough to get to the position we are. And that's it. We're nothing new, nothing special about any of us. That's all we are. But then we're like, oh my God, we made it. But with that comes this other part that we're not trained for. Nobody tells you, okay, you know what? This is how you deal with media. This is how you deal with people. This is how you deal with comment. Nobody teaches us anything. We're just a normal guy. And all of a sudden you get all this thrown in your lap. It's extremely hard to deal with. I'm gonna tell you this now, it's extremely hard to deal with. And every single person I've ever said to me, oh, just chill, it's okay. I've always noticed that when they get it, they completely flip out. And I was like, oh, you see how that feels? It's not so easy too. So it's trying to like understand that, yeah, this is the current era of social media and everything else. It comes with it. But we are trying to learn to deal with it in an era that no one else has to teach us how to do it.
I I remember watching an interview from you and the Mulligan brothers earlier in the year, and you went through something on a social media aspect where it wasn't directed at you.
Yeah.
It was directed at the first ever female
Yeah.
Olympia winning coach in
Yeah.
Olympia history.
Man, it was honestly it was crazy. 2024 was a crazy year because I think I've already been used. I saw slowly as the slowly you get more popular, the slower you get more attention, negative attention come with it. So I've slowly got used to it because I've had to grow with it. So when they say things about you, kind of just like, yeah, yeah, okay. Everybody's gonna talk. Everybody has an opinion. But it was the first time I had it directed at somebody I love, somebody I cared about. that had nothing to do with anything, just because I said, okay, yeah, she's going to coach me. And all of a sudden, they all jumped on her. And I was like, holy shit, this is like crazy. And most of the time, people that I had something to say, they didn't know anything about history. They didn't know that she brought me into bodybuilding. She coached me for my first year. She coached me into being a pro. She coached for years throughout my whole career. We only swapped out for a little bit where we got a new coach to take me into that part. And then we swapped back in again. So I was like, look, this season is going to take over again. It's so much easier. And they just kind of, they didn't mind to listen or actually find out a bit. They just jumped on and going, oh, what's he doing? Why would he hire his wife? What is he doing? I'm like, surely you think a guy that's done this to this level would have a plan. He wouldn't have woke up one morning and just go, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just get my wife to, yeah, shoe coach me. That's all right. You're fine. There must be more of a thought to it. So when you had people sort of attack her, it became very personal. I was like, dude, normally I don't take these things personally. I'm like, look, it's me. I'm body. I chose to do this. I chose to be in my line, so I'm going to get this attack on me. That's fair. But when you don't attack the ones I love, my loved ones like that, I'm like, yo, no, 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 no. That's the line you don't cross. That's personal. And they went after her hard for it. And for months, I saw her struggle to deal with it. And when you're there, you're like, there's absolutely, as a man, they're attacking your wife, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. That is a level of anger and powerlessness that it builds. It really does build. So when we were going to the Olympia, and I was like, you know what? No, this one is personal. And I told her, look, if when I get up there and I win that show, I want you to come on that stage and you pick up that trophy and you show them that yeah, this is what's possible. Don't ever underestimate my wife ever again.
And that's when I remember the moment where she came on stage. You gave her the Sandow, and you were like just pointing at her.
Yeah. Yeah, because I told her because that was a moment, and I was like, look, yeah, you all had this idea of she couldn't do it, she don't know what she's doing, he doesn't know what his pick was. And you had a lot to say, but you never took a minute going, what about if? What if? And I was like, well, you were wrong.
And before we can just close this off, I just wanted to go back to the topic where obviously about the divide of for the old era bodybuilding, the 90s, noughties, whatever you want to say,
Yeah,
versus now. Look, I mean, I know I said it to you on your DM, and you're not even Olympia champion, but people always perceive you, whether you got the title or not, as a people's champion as well.
no,
And that voice, that responsibility, you've just showcased it in the highest possible way, which is why people are saying that you're the best open ambassador since Phil Heath. And I would say even Phil Heath, yourself, and Jay Cutler are the big three when it comes to ambassadors
oh, thank you
wise.
so much.
What's what is your message then to
It's
those that maybe are being critical on the current crop of open bodybuilders, not just open bodybuilders, maybe just across the roster of divisions? What's your message to them?
look, all I'm saying is this. I'm not asking for anything, any special, any idea of backing them. I'm not at all. I'm just saying, like, remember, you guys just remember, at some point, you were in our position. And imagine what that felt like when people talked negatively to you. Imagine how that felt receiving that day in and day by people you actually look up to. And it's just like, look, just tone it down a little bit, man. It doesn't have to be that harsh. We're not saying don't critique us because you critique us. But just understand the same hard work you did to get up to that Olympia level, we also had to do to get there. So at least behind that and the fact that we all love this sport so much, respect is simple. It's not that hard to give, and we respect you guys more than anything. We've always have. And to have not even a little bit reciprocated, it's kind of like, come on, man. Really? Is life really that bad? Is it really that hard? So, it's a shame, but you know what? It's just I'm really hoping that just we can actually see to be civil enough to one another just a little bit.
No, the spot on words. Look, before we just wrap it up, I want to wrap it up in a positive way because I did a post earlier this week about the importance of a strong relationship in bodybuilding, and you clearly have that with your wife, Marlena. I
Yeah.
want to ask you, what's been the greatest one piece of advice that she's given you that you can live by, pretty much every day?
Listen to me. Don't listen to anyone else. Shut up and just listen to me and don't listen to anyone else, not even in your head. Yeah, I mean, this one is basically I'll talk every single prep. Bodybuilders, we hard on ourselves and we second guess ourselves and we do everything else, and our mind just goes off and it goes off. And when we get that, it's almost like it's extremely hard to pull us back from being self-sabotaging or destroying our progress and everything else like that. So at that point, she always says to me, listen to me. Just listen. Just listen to me. Forget what your mind is saying. Listen to me. And to be fair to advice, every single time I've done that, the result has always been freaking 100% on. So yeah.
That's quality, man. And look, last one. UK bodybuilding, I think it's just getting stronger and
Oh
stronger,
yeah.
and that plays a important role with what you and Ryan Terry have done, and also the many Olympians that last year there were 42 IFBB Pro Card winners from
Oh,
the UK. So you would hope
wow.
it's only a matter of time until the UK
Yeah.
is challenging the other top countries
Oh
for
yeah.
so many Olympians going out to Vegas.
Oh yeah,
I,
man.
do,
I,
do
I
you?
see so many UK pros, top UK pros, and I see so many great bodybuilders coming out of the UK, and and female athletes as well that coming out of the UK, and I'm like, man, you guys keep working because honestly, man, you're gonna show the world something. You're doing
That's my next question. I was going to ask, like, is there any current UK bodybuilders that you got an eye on where you think, you know what, they can make the Olympia one day?
it, dude. There's but I can't remember the name. He's freaking the guy competed. He competed. I know that Louis Breed, obviously, unfortunately with his accident and everything else, man, dude. I hope that he's getting on well and everything else. But I know that the way he went last year, show after show, and didn't give up. He has that same mentality and that same dogfight mentality. And I know that, you know what, man, dude, get back well and do that again. If you do that, you will make the Olympia, man, because you have that dog fight for everything and give it all like got feeling to it. So yeah, that one, yeah, I think I gotta say that.
Nah, awesome, mate. And look, Olympia 2025. I watched the Olympia Showdown with yourself, Brandon, Derek. Obviously, Hardy was missing in there.
Yeah.
Come Olympia, you got Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater, Andrew Jacked. I
Oof.
think we can easily say this is going to be the most competitive Olympia to
Oh,
date because you got four Olympia winners.
oh yeah.
You going into that show, I mean, look, there's a reason why no one's defended a title since was I think Big Ramy
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah, yeah.
and it's because of how competitive the scene is at the
Oh yeah.
moment.
Oh yeah.
How confident are you in breaking that duck and being the one to defend the title?
This one I gotta say, bro, this one I am very comfortable about. This one I'm like, okay, seeing what we're able to do each year and seeing how we're able to improve each time. I'm like, hell, man, this one is gonna be a show. It's definitely gonna be a show, and I think we're gonna bring something that's gonna shock a lot of people this year.
Look, Samson, and you get enough from people from on your DMs, but what you're doing in the moment in regards to just your constant updates on your story, posting your workouts, not just on your YouTube, but Instagram. You're you're the social media Olympia champion because you're constantly putting content out there, which is
Oh,
so great for so many people. And I guess that shows when you go around the world, people recognize you,
yeah,
and that is such an important factor of what makes you a great role model for the
man,
UK bodybuilding scene. I think also a big reason that gives people hope that they can get to Olympia one day and achieve what you achieve, having being that guy who left Lagos, Nigeria,
yeah.
made his debut in 2014, I think.
Competed first competition in 2014 amateur show. Yes.
2014. We saw the number of shows you competed in before you finally got that win. I remember, I think the show that you got your win, you were questioning whether to carry on or not.
Yeah, yep, yep.
And we then see this in SAS and what he achieved as well. So, look, mate, like I said, I say it all the time, by IG, you do an incredible job. And I know we're
Thanks.
all buzzing to see you back on stage come Olympia weekend.
Well, thank you very much, man. And you know what, man? I get a lot of love and appreciation. And honestly, I think that's one thing where traveling does for you, where you get to travel all this place and you get to meet the fans of bodybuilding in person. And honestly, there's no place I go that we don't have a big turnout of fans that supporting us. And honestly, every time we go to this thing, it always blows my mind to see the amount of support and love I get from this sport. And it sort of fires you up to keep doing more and more and more because you see how much people love this and appreciate what you do. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take home, man. And it makes you feel honestly, it makes you feel very privileged and it makes you feel very proud of it. And I'm really grateful, man. So yeah, it means a lot, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate your time, Samson.
Anytime, man. Appreciate it.